Well, welcome, rail fans, to my HO scale Missouri Pacific Fort Smith, Arkansas switching layout set in the 1970s era. Now, this is the first video I've done about the layout, and so this will show you how far I've progressed so far, and hopefully give you some good ideas as you move forward with your own layout. I also plan on releasing some other videos, and these will be step-by-step videos. It'll cover different areas, everything from track work to wiring to scenery and things like that. So hopefully you'll find these very helpful to you. So the image on the screen shows the final track plan that I came up with, and it's perfect for up to 3 operators. Certainly one person can operate this layout without a problem. And if I had to put a label on it, I would say it's prototypical freelance. Of course, like a lot of modelers, I didn't have the room to put the track arrangements exactly like it was in Fort Smith, but I've done research, and all the industries that are going on the layout will represent industries that were actually served by the Missouri Pacific and Fort Smith during the 1970s. So you'll get the feel of Fort Smith switching operations. So the first challenge was, how do I get continuous running but can avoid a duck under? So I looked at doing a lift out, but wasn't a big fan of that because you have to put it somewhere. So I came up with this lift up bridge mechanism. It's probably one of the more challenging things that I've ever built for a model railroad layout, but it works really, really well. Now, once this is done, I'll have a river scene created for it. I'll have scenery on there, and it's going to be a very short representation of the railroad bridge that spanned between Van Buren, Arkansas and Fort Smith, Arkansas, that's currently used by the Union Pacific today. Coming off the bridge, the main line diverges to the right, and you'll see a spur next to a red brick building representing the Fort Smith Biscuit Company. Straight ahead is the 3-track yard. The Fort Smith Biscuit Company in my layout is an Atlas kit and looks very similar to the actual Fort Smith Biscuit Company building when it stood in Fort Smith. So here I'm panning across the layout yard, and this represents the yard that was used by the Missouri Pacific up in Fort Smith during the 1970s, and a lot of the yard is still used by the Fort Smith Railroad today. Like the Missouri Pacific yard in Fort Smith during the 70s, the layout yard will be used for switching duties in Fort Smith, short-term car storage for Fort Smith Industries, and storage for maintenance of way equipment. Now, I used Atlas Code 83 flex track throughout the layout, but for the yard and spurs to get a more prototypical look, what I did is I removed some of the ties and spaced them out a little bit. Adjacent to the yard is a representation of another Fort Smith industry, the Ward Cold Storage Company. Now, I used different techniques, paints, and ballast colors for my track, and we'll be making a step-by-step video soon showing you how I did this. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you, the ballast I used is made by a company called Scenic Express. I really like their product. It's made with natural stone, and it retains its color after the application dries, so there's no surprises. It's the color you put down is the color you're going to get. Now, here you see the beginnings of a railroad crossing. In the past, for the streets, I'd use material like spackle, but I came upon a YouTube video where they used foam, and once it's painted and weathered, it just looked fantastic, so I thought I'd give it a go on this layout. So the last stop on this video is Bell's Best Dog Food, and this was another industry that was served by the Missouri Pacific and Fort Smith. And I got lucky on this one. Unlike so many of the industries that I'm modeling that have long since been torn down, this building is still standing, so I was able to go to Google Earth and get some really good images. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to the early beginnings of what will progress to become a very nice layout. Now, as you see, there's a lot of work ahead, but that's part of the fun of model railroading. Now, I'll have more videos coming as the layout progresses, as well as how-to videos. So certainly welcome your comments and questions. And until next time, highball!